Welcome to another episode of Steam Deck Before You Buy, where we cover 4 things you need to know about a game so you don't waste your money. In this episode, we will be looking at Batman Arkham City, so let's get started. Batman Arkham City is unsupported on the Steam Deck, however the game is fully playable. There is no need to change the compatibility options as the game works fully with the normal Proton compatibility or with Proton Experimental. To get the game to work, you'll need to go into the Configure PC Options tab, then in the Settings section, change full screen mode to No, and then hit the play button and it will load into the game. If you liked this video or found it useful, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another video. Batman Arkham City Game of the Year Edition is currently $14.99 on the Steam store. Batman Arkham City on the Steam Deck requires 19.9 GB of free space in order to download and install. Now that we know the game can be played, the big question is, how does it perform? Looking at the frames per second on the low graphics setting, the game is holding that solid 60 frames per second. If we take a look at the battery, with a full charge of 100%, you'll get just under 5 hours of total gameplay. On the low settings, the Steam Deck is using between 11 and 12 watts, which is still pretty low. Looking at the GPU usage, it ranges between 51 to 53%, showing the Steam Deck isn't under any stress at these settings. Even at the low settings, the game still looks very well on the Steam Deck 7-inch screen, however I did notice the lower textures up close like in Batman's suit, but it's very minimal. Looking at the frames per second on the medium setting, on the initial dive there's a small dip into the high 50s, but this is the same with all the Batman games, but as soon as we get into combat, it holds back a solid 60 frames per second. Looking at the battery, which is at 93%, which will get you just over 3 hours of total game time. On the medium setting, the Steam Deck is using around 12 watts, with the GPU usage ranging between 53 to 54%, showing the Steam Deck does not struggle to run the game at these settings. Moving over to the very high graphics settings, and the game is still holding a solid 60 frames per second. With the battery at 88%, this will get you just over 3 hours of gameplay. On the very high settings, the Steam Deck is using just under 12 watts, with the GPU usage ranging between the high 40s to the low 50s, again showing at these settings the Steam Deck isn't struggling to play the game.
The room is secure.
On the max graphics settings, the game still holds that 60 frames per second, but again dips into the high 50s when gliding, but soon returns quickly back to the 60 frames per second. Looking at the battery life, which is at 85%, which will get you just over 2 hours of gameplay on the max settings. On the max graphics settings, the Steam Deck is using between 17 to 18 watts, with the GPU usage between the high 80s to low 90s, which shows the Steam Deck is being pushed graphically on these settings, but it's nothing the Steam Deck can't handle. So are you wasting your money if you buy Batman Arkham City on the Steam Deck? And to that I would have to say no. The game is unsupported but plays perfectly. The game is reasonably priced at $14.99. The game plays very well on all settings and holds that 60 frames nicely. The game looks great on the Steam Deck 7-inch screen. The combat is fluent and responsive, and during my playtime I experienced no lags or glitches and minimal frame dips.